Hi Angels. This will be the chapter 12 of You Are My Heroes by Lavender Thoughts 21 on AO3, First Errand and Dinner Meow. The boys were still in a hug as Lady interrupted their reunion with a loud meow. Bakugo quickly let go of Midoriya and turned to the cat who had blessed his ears with the high-pitched meow. Lady! Izuku exclaimed out loud. Both the boys were excited that the cat had left her place on top of the bookshelf. The cat completely ignored the two boys who were shaking in excitement from her mere presence. Instead, she walked up to Aizawa, purring at his feet and letting out small meows. Don't worry, lady. Dinner will be served in a bit. Aizawa reassured the cat, who stood up straight with the word dinner. The two boys behind her also lit up at the mention of dinner, their eyes shining for the promised third meal. We really get to eat again? Izuku asked, his mouth watering at the thought. Are you hungry? Aizawa asked, and both the boys nodded furiously. Then you will eat, the man reassured them, and they eagerly ran to the kitchen. The cat ran behind them, meowing back to Aizawa, who walked too slowly for her liking. Lady is hungry, Bakugo said, finally a linking verb, Aizawa thought. Want to feed her? Aizawa asked the blonde, who seemed determined to be the cat's advocate. Yes, Bakugo answered immediately, his fist raising to his chest as he tried to contain his excitement. I want to help too. Izuku piped up as he realized that Katsuki was given an errand. You can grab her bowl from the carrier. Aizawa offered Midoriya a task and pointed to the carrier at the entrance. Taishiro had left a couple of ladies' things in the carrier as he dropped her off, while Midoriya grabbed the cat bowl. Bakugo and Aizawa walked to the pantry where Lady was currently swiping her paws under the door. When Aizawa opened the door, the cat started to purr louder as he grabbed a tin of cat food from the floor. I got it, Izuku said excitedly as he ran over with a white ceramic bowl. Good job, Midoriya, Aizawa praised as he opened the tin and gave it to Bakugo. The blonde started to giggle as the sand-colored cat started to purr and rub against his legs, letting out meows as Katsuki walked slowly to Izuku. It looked like he did that on purpose to prolong her attention on him. You! It's brown and yucky, Izuku covered his nose as he saw the wet food come closer to him. It seemed he regretted the decision to help since he quickly sat the bowl in the corner of the room before running away to the safety of the dining room chair. Izuku held a disgusted face as he watched Katsuki complete his errand. Bakugo tapped the tin on the bowl, and that was enough for the food to plop out. The cat that was once attached to Bakugo's leg like it was a priority was now chowing down on her dinner of wet food. Great work, Bakugo, Aizawa commended the blonde, as he threw away the tin in the trash can properly without direction. Now for you two, do you guys like PB&J sandwiches? Aizawa asked. Yes, please, Izuku said quickly, his hands tapping the table in excitement. Bakugo also nodded as he climbed the chair next to Midoriya. It wasn't a proper dinner, but after Katsuki's incident, after overeating, Aizawa feared that maybe he was feeding them too much. They are pretty underweight, and are obviously not used to eating meals multiple times a day. To combat a shock to their systems, the man decided on a simple peanut butter jelly sandwich, a guaranteed favorite of children, and is full of protein. First things first, he served them sippy cups filled with milk to complement their meal. Bakugo quickly started to reach for the cup as Aizawa sat it down in front of him. Slow down, kid, you're going to get hiccups if you drink too fast, Aizawa warned, but he was mostly worried about Katsuki's habit of gobbling down his food as fast as possible. Izuku grabbed his own cup and slowly took a sip, wary of Aizawa's warning of hiccups. Katsuki also slowed down, but still held the cup in his mouth, chewing on the spout of the sippy cup. As Aizawa toasted the bread, the boys waited patiently in silence, Bakugo playing with the mats on the table while Izuku rocked back and forth in his chair, his feet swinging happily as well. Does Lady eat every day? Izuku asked as the cat finished up her dinner, licking her paws and wiping her face. Bakugo seemed shocked by the question, like it was something he should have thought about first. They both looked up to Aizawa with expectant eyes, wanting an answer. Yes, Aizawa answered simply, and the toaster went off behind him, ending the small conversation. The boys watched as Aizawa made them their sandwiches, their mouths watering in anticipation. Since it was a sandwich, there was no need for a plate with dividers, so he took out matching plates with All Might on it. All Might? Izuku called out excitedly as he saw his idol on his plate. Aizawa sat down the plates in front of the boys, and to his surprise, Bakugo didn't grab the sandwich as fast as he normally approached his food. Instead, he grabbed it with careful hands and slowly moved it to his mouth. With the strange behavior, Aizawa watched the boy closer, ignoring Midoriya as he spouted out facts about his favorite hero. Crunch Bakugo's first bite made him close his eyes as shivers went down his spine. There were goosebumps on the boy's arms as he continued to chew slowly, each crunch making him shudder. Aizawa watched confused until the boy started to tear up with a scrunched-up face. "What's wrong, Bakugu?" Aizawa asked, but Bakugu shook his head no violently. "Texture?" Izuku questioned the blonde, and Katsuki nodded before trying to take another bite. The boy was determined to eat the food provided despite the painful sensations. "You don't have to eat it." Aizawa reached to stop Bakugu's hand, but the boy jerked away from him. Katsuki quickly took another bite, making himself cringe at the texture on his teeth. "I'll make you one not toasted, so please give me that one," Aizawa said and offered his hand out. Katsuki looked hesitant, but handed the man the sandwich after a couple of seconds of thinking. Aizawa quickly made Baku's sandwich, the boy looking more anxious as time went by without food. Izuku waited for Aizawa to hand his friend the sandwich before he continued to eat his own, showing some sympathy for Katsuki. "Better?" Aizawa asked as Bakugu took a bite of the sandwich, no more goosebumps. Katsuki nodded as he ate, crisis averted, and now Aizawa had his own snack. "Thank you," Bakugu said softly in between a bite. The sentiment of gratitude was new from the blonde, so Aizawa couldn't help but smile at the polite expression. "Good manners." Aizawa praised the boy's effort, but just received a huff in return. "Thank you," Izuku mimicked after Bakugu, taking a sip of his milk after each bite. "You're welcome," Aizawa said as he took a bite of Bakugu's abandoned sandwich. They ate together without any further problems. When Katsuki finished his sandwich and milk, Midoriya still had a couple of bites left of his. Bakugu looked up at Aizawa, his eyes saying that he wanted more. Aizawa knew this, but the thought of overeating was still on his mind. A full sandwich was more than enough for a kid his size and weight, so Bakugu wasn't hungry. He just wanted to eat more while he was allowed to eat. "Breakfast will come before you know it." Aizawa tried to let the boy down easy, but Bakugu still pouted unsatisfied. Sleepy, Midoriya yawned after he finished his last bite. This is the end of chapter 12. I'll see you in chapter 13. Have a good day, angels.